Howdy, everybody. It occurs to me I don't know that I've ever explicitly introduced myself on this channel. I'm Jenny, sole proprietor of Jenny from the Block. I like horror media and harbor delusions of one day being an author. It's taking time. I'm working on it. I have a normal job. I think I mentioned in my hiatus update, it's 40 hours a week and several other responsibilities that pull me in a few different directions on a daily basis. Anyway, I'm glad you're here, if only because it reassures me that my voice isn't nearly as gratingly obnoxious to listen to as I originally believed it to be. Or maybe it is and you guys are just, like, really tolerant. I don't know. Who knows? I also feel that I should mention that you are watching content produced by a woman in her 30s. I am grown up. I work 40 hours a week. I pay taxes. I legally have to say that. I do not use the slang 6, 7, or whatever that brain rot trend the youths are all participating in now. I don't know. I am not child, but YouTube seems to think I am because they age restricted my account for some reason back in October or November. I have zero idea why beyond the fact that YouTube's AI is trash. And just so we're clear on this, YouTube, you will be getting a selfie or an ID only when you're prepared to pay me ad revenue and not a second before. Suck the entirety of my non-existent ding-dong. Anyways, I started this channel in October 2024 after a little bit of planning. I don't know. I had a few ideas and I wanted to toss them at the wall to see if any of them would stick. I went in wanting to do a mixed media channel, books, video games, movies, occasional commentary on things related to these topics, the works. Mostly horror focused, but with some room to branch out beyond that if a flight of whimsy should take me. And also because, horror is a big genre, but I don't plan on reviewing or recommending every book or game or movie within it, so it makes sense to cover other genres too. One big thing I wanted to mention in this video is that I've spent the last year and 3 months trying to feel out exactly how YouTube's rules work regarding content restriction and removal. Like, what will get me age restricted and what will get me a community guideline strike. One restricts visibility and monetization, the other ends with YouTube removing a video altogether. So it's kind of an important distinction to make. 2 incidents this year kind of made me nervous. The first was YouTube updating its policies on realistic video game violence in November. Obviously, given that 2/3 of this channel is horror game content, and that often involves a certain amount of violence. I'm still not 100% clear on where they're drawing the line on realistic violence. Do we mean like Until Dawn, where the characters are rendered in a super realistic way, and so any blood, gore, violence is very realistic compared to, say, Blood Wash, for example, where it's all pixelated characters getting violently murdered, but it's not really the same thing because they're pixelated PlayStation 1 graphics level characters. Or are they talking about stuff like Grand Theft Auto, where, yeah, it's obvious it's a video game, but the acts of violence within it are unusually graphic, such as like that torture scene in GTA 5. The policy change rattled me a little bit, specifically because of my Dead by Daylight videos. Some matches, I watched a killer mori a survivor in a really gruesome way, and I wasn't sure if that would qualify as realistic violence under the new guidelines, but thus far, I haven't heard any confirmed stories about YouTubers getting nuked for the type of violence you tend to see in horror games. My hope is that for a fun and new change, YouTube is going to be using actual humans to make these determinations and operate with a scalpel instead of a hammer, given that gaming content makes up a huge chunk of this website. But unfortunately, given that this is not how YouTube tends to run its platform nowadays, I do have to be cautious. But depending on that, I'm coming back to it. The second incident that rattled me was Amberlynn Reid getting permanently demonetized. Not because I think Amberlynn is a shining star of YouTube content creation or anything, but because the incident reminded me that permanent demonetization is a thing, and also the fact that multiple incidents of age-restricted videos that are not edited or removed can lead to it. And also that the consequences are not immediate. In Amberlynn's case, I think it was that she was flat out ignoring the warning she was getting from YouTube over the course of the last year or two. And so a lot of that is on her, but again, it reminded me that perma-demonetization is a thing that I need to be wary of, even if I don't necessarily care if the odd video here or there gets age restricted. The problem is that I don't know how much age restriction you can receive before your channel is in danger of permanent demonetization. I didn't love having to throw up a censor screen when that horse-faced weirdo in Click Holding blows a hole in his brain cage, But I must approach such scenes in my playthroughs with an overabundance of caution. I'm playing it by ear, and I also have that ear to the ground, and I'm listening for other gaming YouTubers to say if they're being hit with guideline strikes or age restriction and what exactly it is they're being hit for. So, long story short, I am going to have to be a little bit cautious with what I put out there, including my cursing, which is fucking annoying, but whatever. For the record, I am not currently monetized. I hold no delusions of grandeur that this is ever going to be a 100% full-time job that I can live off of exclusively, but I would at some point like to maybe earn a little extra paper for doing something I enjoy. So yeah, long story short, if I happen to play a video game that has a arguably realistic depiction of human violence, I may have to cut it to fit Super Weenie Hut Jr.'s standards. I mean YouTube. Still think this entire problem could be solved by parents actually taking responsibility for their children's media consumption and not letting the internet babysit them. But apparently that's been too much of an ask in the year of our Lord 2025 and will probably be too much of one in 2026 too. It's fine. Jack Doherty got arrested, and that's all the W I need from 2025, honestly. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to get into is that now that I'm a year and 3 months into this, I've gotten a feel for how much time it takes me to record and edit my videos, and it occurs to me that I may have made a small miscalculation here. The people that are here for my video game content may not be here for my book content, and the people here for the books may not be here for the video games. It's also worth mentioning that the vast majority of video games I play are horror, whereas I tend to mix it up a bit more genre-wise on the book content. I feel like my channel might be a little all over the place in terms of theming. So, announcement. In the name of New Year's organization, it seems like a good time to introduce my solution to this problem. Jenny from the Block reads. From now on, my book videos will have their own channel. The schedule will be the same. I'll post one review or one recommendation a week so as to not overload myself and make sure that I can maintain some level of quality when it comes to my reviews and recommendations, because the book videos require significantly more time and effort than the gaming ones. So I'll still be posting 3 times a week between the 2 channels. Monday and Saturday on this one, Jenny from the Block, that'll be my gaming content channel, and Wednesday on the book channel. I figure this way, those of you who are here strictly for book content can just get pure book content, and those of you who are here for video games can just get pure video game content. And those of you who like both, well, now you have another channel to subscribe to if you so choose. Sorry about that. As for movies, well, I still have some book versus adaptation videos planned, so those will go on the book channel, and any purely movie-related content will probably go on this channel since I don't do it quite as often. So yeah, starting this week, book content will be on Jenny from the Block Reads, and gaming content will continue on Jenny from the Block. Very excited to see how this ends up working out. Well, that's all the updates and information I had for you. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope you have a lovely New Year's Eve, and I will see you in 2026. Bye!